Alright, let's make some kimchi. First thing I'm going to do is cut my cabbage in half just at the base. We'll pull it apart so the leafiness at top stays leafy instead of being shredded. Then cut each of those halves in half just at the base. We'll use it to pull apart the cabbage later. Make sure you wash your Nappa cabbage very nicely. Get all the dirt out, any caterpillars, whatever. It's fine, just eat it. Now we use about half a cup of salt between all of the leaves of the cabbage. Make sure you get salt everywhere. This takes a minute, but this is what draws the water out of the cabbage and helps you ferment. I used about half a cup of kosher salt. Next is the slurry, or the porridge, or whatever you want to call it. I use 2 cups of water, 2 cups of sweet rice flour, mochiko. You can use all-purpose if you have it and don't have this, but I have this. Whisk it up all nice and then put it on a low heat for a little while. Make sure you use about half a cup of garlic. I used tiny cloves and it sucked. Add 2 tablespoons of sugar to the slurry once it's heated up so it will dissolve, and then take it off the heat and let it cool completely. Mince or dice or just chop up your garlic however you want. Make sure you go flip your cabbage. It's going to be real juicy. I use about a tablespoon of ginger. I peel it with the back of the knife because I don't want to dirty a spoon to peel some ginger, because then I gotta wash a spoon. I'm already gonna wash a knife. Peel it with the back of the knife, cut it into like discs and then sticks, and then dice it. Mince it. Whoops. Next we got an onion. I'm going to dice this as well, a smaller dice. I don't like this knife, and I had some troubles this time. It likes to grab onions and pull them out from the rest of the layers, and it's pretty frustrating, but it ended up doing its job. Put it all in a bowl, get your big old bowl, dump your cooled slurry off into the bowl. I know it doesn't sound like food, but it is. This is a Korean radish. We want about 2 cups. Peel it. Big knife wasn't good, so I switched back to that knife I don't like. And then we're going to cut this into discs, which we will then cut into matchsticks. Line them up, stack them up, cut them with the knife. Make your pile of sticks and move on to the carrot. We're going to do a similar matchstick thing, but carrots are a different shape. Make sure you cut a flat spot in the side so it doesn't roll around while you're trying to cut it nice. I like to go at an angle, 45-ish. It makes it longer sticks when I get to that point. Then each circle can be cut into 2 to 4 pieces. These are Asian chives. They're called buchu. You can use green onion if you don't have them. This is Water Dropwart. It looks like cilantro, tastes nothing like it, and you don't need a lot, but it's really good for this. Alright, turn your cabbage again. Real wet at this point, but we still need to salt it for longer. Coming up, we're going to be adding hot peppers to the slurry, so get your gloves on. Throw in your onions, garlic, ginger to the mix. Throw in about a cup of fish sauce. I like 3 crabs. This stuff is my favorite. I don't need to find another one now. It's the best. And then Korean red chili flakes. This says powder, they're flakes. Use at least 2 cups for 5 pounds of cabbage. I used a cup and 3/4 and it didn't work out. Also, don't use a spatula for this. This was stupid. It works way better with your gloves that you're going to get covered in the stuff anyway. Just do it by hand. Dump all your veggies into that paste, mix it up, put your spatula to the side because it's stupid, squeeze, squeeze, mix, mix, stir, stir, and this is what we'll be adding between each leaf of the washed cabbage. Just like we did with the salt earlier, you got to make sure you get it between everything. You fold it up, I throw it in this jar. It's way too messy. Next time I will be using smaller cuts of cabbage and just mix it all up and punch it in the jar. This is a fermentation vessel I got somewhere. It has weights and stuff. It's pretty fancy for that. This is a less fancy half-gallon mason jar. The mason jar is fine for this. I just had a bigger vessel that I could use, so I did. Make sure you squish it all down. And yeah, try to keep it submerged if you can. I want to put the weights in the bigger vessel while Jackson watches and thinks he's going to get something, but he doesn't like kimchi. And that's pretty much all there is to it. Then we gotta wait 3 days. Cling, cling, cling. It's kimchi day! Smells so good. Kimchi. There's a smaller one. Oh, it's so juicy. I should have pushed it down again. But I didn't. Oh, man. Try just the radishes first. Mmm. It's really good. By itself, it's like bubbly. It's like it's fermented, and you get a little bubbliness. I'll try the bigger guy. So minus these weights in here, you don't need them. Not for this. But I had them, and I wanted to give it a try. One thing I want to improve for next time, definitely don't do huge chunks of cabbage. Like, it sucks. It was cool to try it, but this is like, I've got to take out a crap load. Got to take out a lot at a time. And I don't necessarily want to do that. Makes it quite difficult. Though. So this big old hunk of cabbage, it's really annoying to deal with. I prefer like sauerkraut style, or like even just a bit smaller than this. Little bite size, guys. It's so juicy. I'll get that in the other thing. It's just with rice. That's pretty good. The small one tastes spicier, but maybe that'll taste spicier down in there. Listen, Kimchi, we need to talk. Things aren't quite as they should be between us. And in order for this to work, we're going to need to do some work. First of all, you're a lot to handle sometimes. It's like a chore just getting you out to do anything. If this is going to work, we're going to have to cut you into smaller pieces. 2, you're kind of immature. Sometimes I just think maybe I should have waited longer, but I think that if we just work this out together and just wait a little longer together, this will work out. And 3rd, things are kind of bland with us. We need more spice if it's going to work. I only used like a cup and 3/4 of a cup. I think next time I'll have to use 2.5, maybe 3. But if we can do this, we can do anything. Thanks for understanding, Kimchi.